Hello everyone, I'm the Weather Dude. Welcome back, and today we are talking about the next snowstorm, potentially another cross-country snowstorm, and even some more snow beyond that. We're going to talk about all of it today. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Stay tuned for the whole video and enjoy. If you like staying up to date with the latest weather forecasts and updates, then please consider hitting the subscribe button below. Let's see how fast we can get to 2,000 subscribers. Also, to help this video's performance very much, please consider clicking the like button and sharing this video with your friends. Also, please consider watching the whole video. Thank you. Now let's get on with today's video. So yes, another upcoming major snowstorm is potentially on the way, and we're also going to be looking at, since this snowstorm is coming towards the end of the year, we're going to be looking at your New Year's weather forecast to see how the weather could be looking if any of you guys are planning to travel for New Year's. All right, so we're going to start off with the oscillations because these are very important. Like I always say, they update every day. And by the way, Merry Christmas to everyone who's watching it. Merry Christmas to everyone out there. And so, yeah, we're going to start off with the oscillations and starting off with the PNA, which stands for Pacific North American Oscillation. And basically this tells us that when it's sort of in the positive like it is now, this promotes cold air coming through the central and the east. Because the storm will start out in the west, all right, but we're going to also focus in more on the central United States because we know for sure, well, not for sure, but we have high certainty that a storm will make its way into the central U.S. and it may be the eastern U.S. beyond that. All right, but Pacific North American Oscillation is looking above. The North Atlantic Oscillation, though, is looking below. And that also, when the NAO is below, it kind of works the opposite way to the PNA. So when it falls below, that means more cold air comes into the central and east as well. And the AO, which is the Arctic Oscillation, which has to do with, again, more of the Arctic air, look how far low this is forecast to go. Like, it's on a bit of an uptrend now, but forecast for all the Ensemble models is for it to plummet for the beginning of next year. So we could be talking about some major storms in our hands, or even at least some major cold air, because look in November. Look how high it was in November. And I think that's why, for so many of us, November was kind of a warm month, I feel like, because the AO was just so far positive. Now, how about those 6 to 10 day temperature outlooks from the Climate Prediction Center? And again, it does put either average or even below average air for the central U.S. So it's already kind of setting up here. And this is for New Year's Eve all the way through January 4th. All right, and then if we look at the precipitation outlooks, much of the country also does look from the East Coast to the North Central and Central U.S. And Northwest are all forecast to be above average precip. Again, New Year's Eve through January 4th, and then the Southern Plains looking a bit drier. All right, so now we're going to be looking at the GEFS and the GEPS, kind of like two ensemble models, and kind of taking a look at the temperature and precipitation outlooks. Now, as you can see, with the GEFS, as you can see, 25th through the 30th of December, all right? So basically from Christmas through New Year's Eve, Southeast and the Mid-Atlantic do look like some below average temperatures, but watch as we advance time a little bit, right? You can also see, now we're looking at from December 30th through January 4th, so basically the same time as that Climate Prediction Center map I just showed you, and it does look kind of similar, right? I mean, let's go back to this. All right, overall, it actually does look pretty similar, I have to say. Colder air for the central U.S. and then warmer air for the, oh, look, it's a face. But anyway, warm air for the Northwest and warm air for the Northeast. So I got to say, it actually does look pretty similar to this map here. So GEFS does seem to agree with the Climate Prediction Center there. All right, and then obviously some cold air coming into the southeast maybe as well. January 1st to the 6th, we see some cold air in the southeast now at this point. But like once you go, like we're going out a couple weeks at this point, so it's kind of hard to tell. And then we can't really go out this far. But now we're gonna look at the GEPS model, which does put some colder air again, southeast, mid-Atlantic, north central as well. All right, and again as we move on into time, look how the cold air just builds. Now this looks pretty different from the Climate Prediction Center map because it does put warm air in the northeast, but also the entirety of the country except for the northeast and maybe Florida looks colder. So that puts, and when the AO actually, when the Arctic oscillation goes pretty low like that, like way low, sometimes it can happen. The entire or most of the United States can actually get pretty cold, right? like the weather in the east doesn't always have to be opposite of the west, right? It doesn't always work like that, but it does sometimes as well. Now we're gonna get into the models. We have our three models, our three usual models that we like to use. We have our GFS, our European, and our Canadian model. All right, so let's take a look first at the GFS model. Now I have it zoomed out to a more continental U.S. scale today. Usually I either focus on the northeast or the central or the west. We're going to be kind of taking a look at on a national basis today, just because this is going to be a cross-country storm, possibly. So we do have a little disturbance, a little very weak Clipper system that's going to swing through. As you can see, pressure is 1,005 millibars. It's not very strong at all. Matter of fact, it's quite weak. But still, some light to moderate snow could play out here for the Great Lakes regions, and maybe even northern New England. But you can already see. So if you guys did watch the video that I talked about with the wildfire video that I did not too long ago for the Western United States, I talked about how there would be a low pressure that could possibly dip down a little bit farther south and bring rain to Southern California. I did talk about that. Now, this is what could be evolving into our cross-country storm. Look at this. Look at how it crosses the Rockies. Pressure falls, 1,000 millibars. We're already starting to see snow form to the northwest and north side of it. But then look at this. Look at the pings. That's your really heavy snow. We got a little gust front developing here. We have very heavy snow to the north of it. And I gotta say, I don't want to spoil anything, but the three models do heavily agree already, and that's actually kind of scary. But then again, this storm is coming to the central U.S. like anywhere between like the 29th and the 31st. So it's honestly not that far out. All right, but still far out enough that stuff can still change. Then we have a gust front of severe thunderstorms developing to the south side of this, it looks like. And then again, wrapping around where that cold air comes in, you got snow on the north side. Will this be a major snowstorm for the east? Probably not. Actually, for the east, if you look at the GFS model, this looks similar to the Christmas Eve storm we just had, right? Where much of the east gets rain, right? Even New England, and then we transition to a little bit of snow quickly before all is said and done. So this actually looks exactly like the Christmas Eve storm we just had, all right? And even in the Mid-Atlantic here, we actually did get a few flakes. It was a few flurries, but hey, on Christmas, all right, even a few flurries, I'm still happy with that. All right, but still, we got rain transitioning to snow, very similar to the Christmas Eve storm we just had. So we'll see on that. But for the central United States, again, Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota, both Dakotas, and Wisconsin, you guys definitely have to, even Kansas as well, definitely watch out. So preliminary, what is the GFS thinking right now? To begin with, there actually is an area of 12 to 18 inches of snow anywhere from northern Wisconsin, or northwestern Wisconsin, southeastern Minnesota, so either right in Minneapolis or just to the southeast. Also northwestern Iowa, southeastern South Dakota, as well as northeastern Nebraska. So Sioux Falls, South Dakota could be in that 12 to 20 inch snowfall range. And that's where it looks like most of the snow is going to line up, right in this region. All right. And why do I say that? Why do I have high confidence? Well, let's take a look at the next model, and that is the Canadian model. So again, here's the low that dips a bit farther south into California, right? Which is good. This is going to be a beneficial storm for California. They're going to get some much needed rain, although when you look at the drought monitor map, it appears that the Four Corners region needs it even more. So hopefully we get some snow there as well, or rain, I should say. And here comes the storm. It kind of lifts up from the south, approaches a bit differently. Now we actually have some sleet and freezing rain for northeastern Kansas, for northern Missouri, for western Illinois even, right? And we see the low kind of lift to the north. So a bit different setup here, but overall, snowfall is basically in the same region. Northeastern Nebraska, we got South Dakota involved, even North Dakota, Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin, even Chicago as we head down the road. All right, and then as the storm moves into the east, the low kind of, instead of the low trekking to the east and bringing snow to the Mid-Atlantic, it's going to actually, or forecast to, as of now, shoot northward. And what that's going to do is create another gust front of storms, again, set up very similar to the Christmas Eve storm we just had. And then the high pressure as well, all right, along with the backside of the low, they're both going to help funnel in a lot of cold air and a lot of wind. All right, if this sets up as it's forecast to now, this is going to be a major windstorm, just like the Christmas Eve storm. At least 150,000, maybe even 200,000 customers are still without power in the Northeast. And remember, 200,000 customers, if we just assume that there's 2 people in every household, that's 400,000 people. Or if you want to go right in the middle, that's like 350,000 people could be still without power from this storm. And then we have another storm coming in right right through New Year's. That's just so funny. Like, we have a Christmas storm and now we have a New Year's storm, right? Like, it would kind of be funny if we had like a Valentine's Day snowstorm, right? That'd be really funny. All right, but this snowstorm is shaping up to be a quite major one, and we do have another model to check out. And first, though, we're going to talk about the snowfall totals with the Canadian model. All right, so here is a snowfall total. And when I first looked at this model, I thought that they put the snow in the same area, but that snow was going to be a little bit less. And actually, I was wrong. I mean, as forecast with them, right? 25 inches is actually forecast on the Iowa and Illinois border. It's a much, but everywhere else, though, besides that little area, most people actually, snowfall totals are actually lower. Like, you look, there's no 12 to 18 in this region, really. It's more so 6 to 10. The 12 to 18 inches is for the UP of Michigan, northern mainland Michigan, eastern and central Wisconsin, as well as northern Missouri, southeastern Iowa, and northern Illinois, but not including Chicago. Chicago is forecast 10 inches as of now. And I do get a lot of comments asking for places more far south. You could get flurries, but I really honestly doubt that. This could actually be from another storm. So places like in the southeast, definitely probably no snow unless we see a dramatic change in the track and this just like starts diving southward. All the snow will be refined to more northern areas. And our last model here for today is the European model. Of course, we gotta look at the European model, right? Now here's the low, the little clipper that comes across the Great Lakes. Looks a bit stronger on this model. Pressure's a little bit lower, a little bit more wind, a little bit more precipitation. Then that, but still a pretty weak system overall. And then here comes the beast, right? Or the beast compared to the other storm. This isn't gonna be the strongest storm we've ever seen, but this can still be a very major storm. Some blizzard conditions are possible. Winter Storm Harold brought some stormy conditions, some blizzard conditions to this area, some more snow. Oh boy. All right. And then as the low moves north, again, when the low starts zipping north like this, again, it creates this gust front, right? You got the moisture coming up from the south. It creates this gust front of heavy rain and severe storms. But on the back side of that low, we got a cold air funneling in. And where that cold air funnels in enough, we see heavy snow break out on the back side of that heavy rain. And like here, like in the mid-Atlantic, at least where I am, woke up this morning, it was like in the 50s. And somehow early afternoon, temperatures managed to plummet to like 34 and it was like snowing. All right, a few flurries. So there is a heavy rain, again, moving through the eastern seaboard. Some snow, again, maybe coming on the very back side. All right. But this definitely looks like a more major event for, say, the north central. This is going to be all, like, honestly, as it looks right now, as it's forecast right now, this almost looks like a copycat of Winter Storm Harold, right? We got major winter storm, if not blizzard conditions in the north central, right? Then we have majority rain along the east coast, maybe changing to snow in some spots. All right, this looks like a copycat Winter Storm Harold. Also, lots of wind. All right, so far as the way the storm looks at the time of recording this looks like a Winter Storm Harold copycat virtually. All right, and again, look at the models. Look at the European model, kind of agreeing here with the GFS. And kind of agreeing with the Canadian model. There is that 12 to 20 inch snow band setting up right there. And even along the Great Lakes, right? Sorry, I did not mean to shut that off. We have the Great Lakes region still picking up maybe even 12 to 20 inches on top of another 12, 24 they've already seen. And the flooding threat in the east from Winter Storm Harold today was just like, there was a lot of river flood warnings here in the mid-Atlantic. But the Northeast, it's different for them because they had started off with 20, 30, 40 inches of snow on the ground. You tack on a few inches of rain, it does not do very well. So, and now we're going to have more snow. We have more snow today in the Northeast, and we're going to get more snow from this system. Exactly how much, we don't quite know. But one thing we're pretty certain of, this is going to be a New Year's storm sitting right around that time. So thank you guys for watching today's video. Stay tuned for updates. I'm the Weather Dude, signing off. Till next time, I will catch you guys in the next video.